What are you hoping for Christmas? What are your expectations as Christmas is approaching? And you know, Advent is a beautiful season, but Advent is such a short season. It's not even a month away. We're going to celebrate Christmas. Christ, our peace is born. That's what we celebrate on the night, on the eve of Christmas. Christ, our peace is born, and maybe peace can be something good that we want to achieve and strive for Christmas. And I know you might say, Father, this is not realistic. You know, Christmas, this time is like one of the busiest time of the year. You're running around shopping and finding gifts and writing cards and cooking and thinking all about this stuff over and over again that you blink and it's already Christmas. Well, but maybe peace for Christmas, peace for our hearts, peace for our family is something that if at least we have a direction for, if at least it's on our heart, we might be able to be reminded more. We might be able to strive more for it. If that's what we really want, if that's what we're really hoping for. So what are you hoping for Christmas? From where you are right now, for what's in your life right now, what's the one thing that you're hoping for Christmas? Christ, in his gospel, as he's preaching about all these signs that are messing up the world and that are destroying all the concept of time and stars and suns and everything we have, he's saying, beware that your hearts do not become drowsy. Beware that your hearts don't become tired. They don't become ready to fall asleep. That you are somehow too full, and we just celebrated Thanksgiving, so we know that feeling when maybe you ate too much, maybe you drink a little bit too much, and you're not very sharp, you're not very attentive. And maybe you are competitive like me, that I was at some people's place, and we were playing a game and had a glass of wine with dinner, and I said, Father, do you want an extra glass of wine? I said, no, we're going to play games. I want to win this game. I want to be very attentive and very sharp. I want to be vigilant. I need to know and react very quickly. If this is on your heart, if competition, if what you want really needs to make you alert, maybe there's something that is causing you, your heart to be drowsy. So what do you need to leave behind right here, right now, so that Christmas can actually start with the right foot and you can walk in the right direction to achieve what you're hoping for? Christ goes on and says, don't let your heart become drowsy from carousing and drunkenness. When there are good things, but you have too many of those good things, and they make you grow dull, and maybe sometimes you're numb and your slow reflex. Don't let your heart become drowsy from the anxiety of daily life. I'm sure there's something that nobody can relate to, right? Anxiety of daily life, when you think about something, you want to do so many things, so many good projects, but then you look at reality and you've done maybe a fourth of it, and you start worrying and start getting anxiety, pressuring you. It's like, I'm going to do all of this. And so you run like crazy everywhere. You get worked up by maybe tons of things that are not so important in the end. If you weigh them, they're not so important. But if you let your heart become drowsy from all this stuff, Jesus says, that day will catch you by surprise like a trap. You haven't been vigilant, and all of a sudden you blink, it's Christmas. You blink, it's Easter. You blink, your kids are already in college. You blink, they're married, and you're a grandmother. You want to be vigilant. So what do? What can we do to act and maybe counteract to our culture that it says, Well, there's not much time, just do multiple things at the same time and do them quickly. I don't know if in America it was the same thing, maybe a few years back when people were poor. In Italy at least, or in Europe in general, Christmas time is a time where outside is cold. Outside is winter, and so you don't really want to stay outside. You just want to stay in your home. And back then, where people were poor, you only have one heater in your home. And so everybody at night, after they come back home from work, from school, from activities, they were all gathering in the same place to get heat, to get warm, to get dinner, to have conversation. Maybe that can be a time where this Advent where I decide and I choose family to be a priority. Maybe I just need to make an extra effort so we're all gathered in the evening. We're all gathered for meals. And forget about the rest. It's not that important. If you want that peace start in your heart, in your soul, maybe you need to seek silence more often. Seek silence every day. Turn off music when you're driving. Turn off television maybe when you're cooking at the end of the day. Turn off technology if this is distracting you too much. Do you want to have your heart go drowsy from drunkenness, from having too much in your life, too much distraction? It's all good. We can use it well. We can use it poorly. Sometimes it's just too much. And so I just need some silence. 40 friends, almost 40 friends today, teenagers, who have been in silence since more or less 1. We gather here, we're having a retreat. We'll finish after Mass with dinner and sharing. We've been together seeking silence and trying to refocus our life. How are we supposed to listen and to catch the signs of the Lord's presence in our life if we're so distracted? There's this Jewish story that, the Jews believe that the Messiah will come when on earth there will be peace. And so this man, as he's taking the promises of God faithfully and with some grain of salt, he said, well, if I want the world to be at peace, I want nations to be at peace. Well, the nation I live in is too big. Maybe I should have just my state to be at peace. Well, I look around like my state, so many people. Maybe I should start with my city. Well, it's still too big. Maybe I should start with my neighborhood. Maybe start with my neighborhood. If my neighborhood has a peace, then it would be a good point where Christ could come back. Well, but even my neighborhood, so many families, maybe I can start with my own family. Well, my own family. I can hardly control myself. How can I control my friends, my siblings, or my parents, or my children? Well, maybe I can start with myself. If I start with myself and myself being at peace, then Christ will come back again. And if I think that I want to say on Christmas Eve, on Christmas Day, Christ, my peace is born again, that is possible if peace, that peace, has been born again every single day of this Advent. It won't happen suddenly that you blink and peace is here. You need to strive for that every single day. And so you can start right here and right now and say, Lord, you know my worries? And you can give them names better than I can. I want to leave them here, at church, at the foot of your altar. Lord, this situation that is taking peace away from my life, Just going to lay it here on your altar. Leave everything here right now. And start today having peace. And then tomorrow. And then the day after. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. The more beautiful it gets. Christ, my peace, is born today. Christ, my peace, will be born at Christmas as well.